Okay, so today I'm going to show you my thought process on how and why I entered a specific trade. Today is January 19th, 2021. And I'm going to break this down into two segments. I'm going to show you a brief recap of my thought process today. And I'm going to show another video once I exited the position to see either whether I came up with a profit or the reasons why I might have exited the position and potentially took a loss. But we don't hope for a loss. We're going for the W. I'm going to be toggling between two different web screens or URLs. So let's go over to my Robinhood account. So here is the Robinhood account, and the ticker symbol that we're going to go over today is BOIL. I just call it BOIL, which is ProShares Ultra Bloomberg Natural Gas ETF. And basically what that looks at is the natural gas underlying as the base. This is a leverage account. It provides 2 times the leverage. Let's see, let's scroll down to the about section. Here's the about. I'll let you read it. Right. All right, so how I entered the position today, let's look at it. Right, so right now I'm in for an average of 21.27. I got 200 shares. That's the total market value right now. But let's go to show more so you can see the history, right? So when I first entered this position, it was around early this morning, around 6:45, right? That's the time that it got filled, and it got filled at an average rate of 21.48. That was the first 75 shares, and I'll show you why I jumped into this position and got additional shares. So let's jump over back to our bar chart. Okay, so now that we're back at our bar chart, let me just give you a brief recap of what I'm looking at. This is the 5-day, 5-minute chart. So basically, we go to today, and right around here, 6:45 will be 9:45 Eastern. So this is what I'm looking at. So I'm going to go very slow right here. The moving average, the 20-day moving average is 23.56. The 50-day moving average is 23.64. The VWAP is 21.42. The 10-day moving average is 23. And the key indicator that I'm looking at is the RSI right there, where you see that it's a 14-day RSI. RSI stands for Relative Strength Index. And you see it's at 1727. Now, when I go over to my alerts, you're going to see exactly how I set this alert up and why I entered the position. Okay, so just take a mental snapshot of that right there. Okay, alerts. Okay, so here we are at our alerts page, right? I wanted this to alert me when it got to a certain point. So let's look at it right here and my notes. So I set my alert up as the price and volume. I wanted to see the last price for this particular ticker symbol, the BOIL, at 21.20. And look at my notes that I put in there. And the reason why I wanted to have it at 21.20 is so I can get a text message alert to say, hey, this is a potential stop loss. This is very important. And you'll see that when I jump back into the Robinhood account because you want to be able to enter a position and then exit a position and also have your stop loss. So that way you're not trading based on emotion, but rather you're researching your data. But the reason why I entered this at the 21.48 was because the RSI, as you saw back over there, was at 17. Now, if you watched any of my previous videos, you would notice that when I say that the RSI is under 30, yes, so under 30 is oversold, right? And over 70 is overbought. So I look at those two indicators to let me know, okay, is this something I can get into? And then do some quick research behind it. So here are some of the other alerts that I had set up, right? You could just read them right there. And I also wanted to see if it was less than 20.75 and what note did I put there. That was to exit another position that I had currently open, which I profited off of. And I was going to take some of those profits and put it over into this. Okay, and this alert right here was basically saying, okay, if this goes past 21, when I first entered the 75 shares, if it goes over 21, that's my potential exit, right? That just give me an alert to go ahead and look at it, because I was going to exit around that position with a quick profit, which would have been a scalp, right? And the reason why I set up these alerts, because it allows me to either scale in or scale out. So scaling in basically means that, okay, I bought that first 75 shares. Okay, then I wanted to get another 50, then I want to get another 50, depending on how the market's looking, because I want my average price per share to be low, right? So then that way, once I get out of the position based on what I mentally calculated in my mind, that's my my stop for a profit, I can hit that with ease, and I can profit X amount or X percent. So as we transition back over to our chart, you will see that each of my entries, it was always when the RSI was below the 30, right? That way I knew that I was essentially catching a deal, right? Now we're going to jump back over to the Robinhood, and let's just open up some of the additional transactions. Okay, so this is where I first entered. Let's close that one. And notice what I was talking about back on the other charts was I immediately set a stop loss, right? So my stop price was 20.50, meaning that if this if these 75 shares essentially went down, or the ticker for BOIL went down to 20.50, it was going to exit me out of the position automatically. And I set my limit price at 20.50. So if this particular if this guy hit the 20.50, it was going to exit me potentially out of the position at 20.50. And the reason why I put a stop loss sometimes, or most of the times, is because I want to get into the position and enjoy the rest of my day, right? So if it hit, I'm comfortable with that amount being lost, because that was me setting in a strategy to say, okay, so that I don't get emotionally involved, that if the 20.50 hit, I want to be out of the position, right? So as I kept watching it, right, I wanted to get some more. So a limit buy that didn't get filled, right? This didn't get filled, so I canceled it. Then I end up getting some more. So let's see the more that we got. So at 7.25, we end up getting some more at this particular price, 21.51. We got 50 more shares, right? Then I said, okay, let me get some more, because it's still at that price. So as you can see, what we was talking about was the scaling in, right? And then ultimately I bought 75 more shares at 20.90, because the price dropped and I wanted to lower the average, and that's essentially how you lower the average. But you just don't randomly do it. I looked at the RSI, saw that it was still below where I needed to be below, and I felt comfortable getting 75 more shares. So ultimately, this is my position here. We have the total of 200 shares at 21.27. Now, this is my raw thoughts. We'll see how it go. Tomorrow it can go down, tomorrow it can go up, but what I'm potentially looking at is tomorrow that it'll gap up, because if this was oversold, that means I should have got this at a discount, right? And tomorrow in the morning, within that first hour, I'm looking for this to be somewhere around 21, 22, right? Well, definitely above 21, 27, right? So if I hit 21, 27, I break even. But I don't want to just break even. I want to get a profit. Right now, as you can see, the fluctuations, I'm down 1%, which is $43. Let's just round it up to 44. But I'm looking to exit out of this position around $500, $400, right? And if I would have got out of this position today, at a profit, let's say it went up to 21.40 or 21.50, then I consider that as a quick scalp, and the profit would be the difference between the 21.50 and the 21.27, right? But my profit tomorrow, or whenever I decide to exit this position, will be a swing trade, right? Because I'm holding it overnight. I may hold it for a couple of days. I may just hold it for one day. I'm looking to hold it just for one day, so then that way I can redeploy those funds into another stock pick or ETF. Now I'm just going to go through this timeline just so you can see what this price action looked like today, right? As you can see, pre-market, it was around there. We're just going to go slow in a couple increments, right around here, 21.30. We skip forward some, around 8.10, 21.10. And then notice over here, it took a nice dip right here, right? But we wasn't really looking at it. We had already entered our positions for the day. Yeah, if our stop loss would have got hit, we would have exited the position. See, it's still going up. But overall, just to give you the raw numbers, I was down today, right? I'm down. It was actually more than this. Let's see, when did the market close? At 1 right here. As you can see, light, the light bar over here, and then the dark bar, or the lighter bar over here. So right at 1 today, I was down, right? Because it was at 20.81. Still down in my mind, right? But tomorrow's a new day, and let's see how that goes. And we're praying tomorrow that we can lock in some profit. So what I'm going to do is, if we're up, we're going to put a trailing stop on there, and you'll see what the trailing stop does, or we just may do a hard stop. All right, see you tomorrow.